Hi everybody, and welcome to the first video blog of 2015. Today I'm just going to do a brief wrap of 2014 and then talk about a couple of big initiatives we have going this year. So 2014, we brought on 6 new companies, which was great growth for us. We hit our targets of managing costs below both external benchmarks and, to me more importantly, what any company could have gotten had they chosen Aetna or United in a non-equity healthcare unit. And the third thing we did is kind of a growing part of our services, which are kind of offerings that we negotiate with great discounts that are really outside of the custom units. Last year, Andreas did a terrific job around audits, and we actually divided it into 2 pieces, one eligibility, and Consova won that deal, and the other around claims audits, which Truven done. We think they're best in class, and we did do a webinar Andreas did explaining the deals. This marks now our 7th discounted product, and we continue to grow this, which I think is an exciting new part of what we do. So now on to 2015. And we're going to be focusing on these issues at the summit coming up in a couple weeks. We decide our initiatives here in 2 ways. One, I talk to C-suites, and I did about 35 of those meetings last year, which is great input for me. And the other is just being deep in the healthcare field. I do a market scan everywhere I travel and just kind of keeping in touch with the latest trends. So kind of, what's happening? There are some positives, and that is C-suites continue to be engaged, and they've really now focused and settled into a consumerism strategy, what also for them includes wellness. It's good news. Inflation has really been low on the outside, and I think consumerism is driving that. And we're seeing some exciting new offerings through telehealth and alternate forms of getting care. I think those are all very positive signs, and I think employers in many ways have been the drivers of that. But there are a couple new concerns, and that's what we based our initiative on. The first one of them has to do with what's happening with this move to high deductibles, which I've been a big fan of. And I think what we're finding is it decreases utilization and saves money right away. The concern is that it seems to be that people are choosing to do less of stuff they don't need, but they're also not doing enough stuff that they do need. So they're not filling prescriptions for medications they need, and frequently they're not having follow-up doctor appointments. I think that's an issue. I think the other concern we have is even with the growing interest in wellness, the traditional model, which I'll explain in a minute, really needs refreshing. So how are we going to address these? The first is we're going to spend quite a bit of time talking about something what's called value-based insurance design, or for short, VBID. And 8 of our companies already do this, but what it entails is waiving kind of first dollar payment in specific cases to encourage and actually increase utilization. The best example is medications for high blood pressure or diabetes, where in many cases when people are on high deductibles and kind of their deductible and coinsurance fits in, they simply won't fill their medication. That's not really what we wanted to do with first dollar coverage. And there's good evidence that if you waive the deductible and coinsurance, or at least decrease it, we get an uptake in compliance. So we'll talk about our recommendations on that. The second, and really the focus of this year's summit, is around wellness, and we're calling it Wellness 2.0. Just briefly, this Wellness 2.0 recognizes that our traditional model of wellness, which is you take a health risk appraisal and then you call a nurse and an 800 number, really has gotten stale and isn't developing anywhere near the returns we think we can get. We know through focus groups that employees are excited about wellness, but the way they see it and the way we see it is quite different. What they do say explicitly is they don't think an HRA and then calling a nurse is wellness to them. To them, wellness is something more integrated into the worksite. It's personalized, it's fun, it could be a nurse, but frequently it's digital. They're interested in carrots and not sticks. And I think if we listen to them and meet them where they are, we can exceed the kind of return we already get on that, and we're going to talk about it in some detail. What we've already done about it is, first, we have done an RFP and signed a contract, and we'll tell you who won the bid at the summit for the equity business. But I also want to point out that Aetna and United themselves have made some important innovations on their wellness offering. And in addition to doing that RFP, we've come up with the idea, equity healthcare specific, of defining and then recognizing what a healthy worksite is. I know C-suites have an interest in this, but there's really no objective measurement out there of what does it mean to be a healthy worksite. I think we can take the leadership on this really nationally and develop a certification or recognition program. And I'd like to see if I can get everyone interested in that. So to end, thank you for listening. I look forward to seeing everyone at the summit. It is in Las Vegas this year, which should be a lot of fun. And for those of you that can't make it, we always summarize all the talks on our website, and we send out a newsletter. So again, hope to see everybody in a couple of weeks.